what's up? It's been a while. Really have no excuses. I need to get better at doing this more often, but here I am now anyway. So award season is upon us. The Oscars are tomorrow. Me and my best friend Sarah have we started a tradition, I think, last year, where we buy a bunch of snacks and some bubbly and sit in her basement TV room all night and watch it and dress up a bit and that, yeah. Which we're going to do this year too. It's going to be pretty fun, and I'm really excited about the Oscars this year because this year I've actually seen some of the movies. I know, right? Last year's winner, The Artist, I haven't seen it yet for some reason. It could have something to do with that it's silent, not that I mind silent movies, but I have huge problems with concentration, so when I watch things, I sit and play Candy Crush Saga on my phone while watching, and it's good because when they talk you know when to look up and stuff, but if something interesting is happening, but when it's a silent movie you have to kind of pay attention all the time. I'm not sure I could actually do that. The year before, basically the only film I'd seen was The King's Speech, and I was so happy that it won. Just because it was brilliant. It almost made me cry in the cinema. And yeah, last year the only one I'd seen that was nominated for Best Picture was Midnight in Paris, the Woody Allen film starring Owen Wilson and Rachel McAdams, two actors whom I loathe, to put it mildly. I really don't like either of them at all. And I saw the film in the cinema because it was cheap, like half price of what films usually are. My parents were going and I was like, yeah, can come along. Not really a fan of Woody Allen either. I find that when he puts himself into movies, he's so incredibly narcissistic. It just really bugged me. But I mean, Annie Hall and Manhattan, they're great films, but they would have benefited from less Woody Allen. Anyway, so last year, the only film I'd seen was the film that I definitely didn't want to win. So that was fun. This year I've seen more films. I've seen 2 of the Best Picture nominees, but I don't think either is going to win. It's Les Miserables and Django Unchained, both of which are very, very, very good. Really. I was kind of skeptical towards Django at first. I love Quentin Tarantino, obviously, who doesn't, but I don't know, I just wasn't sure. I think that's kind of thing you see in an interview or something with Quentin, and he's just so strange, and you don't know. I mean, what he was doing could easily have been just awful, but he is so brilliant. What he makes is just it's really good. It is. But yeah, I think probably Lincoln or Zero Dark 30 or some of those, I don't know, going to win. But Les Miserables was really, really amazing too. I'm so glad that I saw it in the cinema because it's just a grand experience to see it. And I've been listening to the soundtrack, highlights of the soundtrack that's pissing me off, really. So I want all of the songs, but obviously you can do that because it's basically an opera, all the everything is sung, all the dialogue is sung. And so it would be like a 2.5-hour soundtrack if you were to put all of it. But what if I want it? So yeah, that's that. What else have I seen? I made a cheat sheet. Sorry. I watched Anna Karenina yesterday. No, the day before yesterday. It just came out on cinema in Sweden, and I really wanted to see that, but it was out on Blu-ray, and so torrenting, obviously, and I really wanted to see it before the Oscars, you know. It was the whole thing with the theatre, and that the changing of decor and the scenography, sorry, production design, that's what. It was fantastic, and luckily that's the categories it was nominated for, was those type of things, costumes and that. I really liked it. I was kind of, I love like costume films, period pieces, but I wasn't quite familiarized with the Anna Karenina story, so that's partly why I wanted to watch it. And then I love Aaron Johnson, or Taylor Johnson, this is called now, Keira Knightley, Alicia Vikander, all of them. I'm not so fond of Jude Law, but he was actually good. But you know, I didn't get that awesome-tastic feeling, you know, like Les Miserables, for example. So I feel it wouldn't have deserved any of the, you know, grander awards for, you know, Best Picture, actor or director, but those production designs kind of things, really deserves. Best screenplay, that's not adapted, original screenplay, maybe it's called. Definitely Moonrise Kingdom. Wes Anderson is my favourite director and screenwriter. Despite the fact that I hate Owen Wilson, it's a very complex sort of thing, but I love his films, and I think he definitely deserves it. What else? The Hobbit had also production design, but it was cool, it was really cool, but it also doesn't deserve any of the grander awards, more prestigious ones. I think it was good, it was cool, but not at all close to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So it deserves its nominations, but I'm not sure if it should win anything, because production design, obviously I wanted Anna Karenina, and it's nominated for special effects, visual effects it's called, and I really like Avengers to win that, because it was cool. Which is also the only Oscar that Avengers is nominated for, which is outrageous. Not really. I mean, I really loved it, but it's not exactly the kind of Oscar-winning film, you know. Maybe. Perhaps. Also, I've seen Frankenweenie, which is nominated for animated feature, of course. I haven't seen Brave, but I know that it should win. I don't know, it was so very Tim Burton. It's like nowadays he just does what he knows, and it's getting boring. There's nothing innovative or creative almost about his films anymore. It's so sad, because he really is quite a cinematic genius he was anyway. But yeah, so I don't think, I'm not that into Frankenweenie. Speaking of animations, I watched Paperman. I had to download it because Disney took it down from YouTube and Vimeo and everywhere, basically, for some reason. But I found it on Pirate Bay, so I downloaded it, and it was just wonderful. Really, I think short film is fascinating medium in the way that you get so short. It's like a novella. I find novellas are short stories, that's what it is, Swinglish sort of thing. Short stories, I find short stories are easier to write because I lose focus and I can't really concentrate and be inspired enough to write something bigger. But at the same time, to get a short story really good, you have to really strip away all the unnecessary things and just manage to tell a story in not many pages at all. And that's why short films are the same, obviously, but it's just it's just so impressive to be able to tell like a whole story in, I think it was 7 minutes long. I was really impressed. That it was wonderful. I wish I'd taken upon myself to watch some more of the animated shorts, but now I really like it. I really think it would deserve the award. The last one that I've seen is the one that's nominated for Best Documentary Feature. It's called Searching for Sugarman, and it's about a musician from Detroit called Sixto Rodriguez. Sorry. It's a Swedish-British collaboration, and I'd never heard of this person before. I'm not sure that I will listen that much to his music because it's not really my type of thing. I mean, it's really good, it is, but there's so much good music out there that, you know, you kind of have to sieve it a bit. So I think he got stuck in the sieve. But I mean, the film about him is just incredible. It's about he basically sold nothing in the US, but someone brought one of his I was gonna say CDs, but I think vinyls would be more appropriate to South Africa during apartheid, and he became like, they started bootlegging him like crazy. He became huge, like an inspiration for the opposition against the apartheid, and everybody thought he was dead. There was these stories that, you know, he'd set himself on fire on stage, just slit his throat on stage. I don't know, it was, and everyone was so sure he was dead. And then I'm not going to spoil it, but I think you've figured it out already. But yeah, me and my dad, I swear we teared up like 5 times. It was really emotional and really, really good. So I do hope that wins, not just because it's Swedish, half Swedish. But yeah. Also, the last thing that I want to say is that one thing that I'm really upset about. In the foreign language film category, a Canadian film is nominated, but it is not Laurence Anyways. I don't know why. It is amazing. The filmmaker is 1 year older than me. His name is Xavier Dolan. He's French Canadian. I mean, his 2 previous movies, one called Heartbeats. No, the first is I Killed My Mother, Je plie ma mère. The second is Heartbeats. It's called Les Amours Imaginaires. They're incredible, and so when Laurence Anyways came to the cinema here, I took my mum to see it because she's a French teacher and a Francophile, so I wasn't sure how she'd like it in that it's Canadian and they incorporate some English, which I love, by the way. French Canadian is like best language, the combination of French and English. But I wasn't sure how she'd like it, but she absolutely loved it. It's a fantastic movie. The sad thing is, it's like a three-hour movie in French, subtitled, which seemed to be just the horror for everyone, basically. But it's a 3-hour film about a trans person, about being trans, and I'm not sure transgender, but yeah, trans anyway, in the 80s, 90s, I think. And I mean, it's just a fantastic, the research Dolan must have done, and he wrote it, he directed it, he had a small cameo, which I did notice, but it was just like a second or so, but he also acted in the previous 2 films that he made. It's really like a multi-talent, and I'm just so in love with him. Unfortunately, he's gay. Well, unfortunately for me, as if I'd ever meet him anyway. No, but he's just, I cannot believe that it didn't get a nomination. I'm outraged. Okay, this is turning quite long, and I should go. I might make a film. No, I won't. I'll probably just tweet about how everything turned out with the films. But I do hope you will have a lovely Oscars night. And yes, thanks for watching all this nonsense chatter. Bye.